That's what I feel like being black is. Like, okay, like you're black, like me. That's like 10%. I'm gonna give you 10% credit. Like, where's the rest, bro?
Well, I've been telling y'all it's two communities that you need to mold yourself after, but nobody wants to ever listen to me. They get upset. I said the Jewish community and the Indian American communities. That's who you need to mold yourself after.
We have a lot to learn from the Jews. By the way, Normo, I think that Israel has the right to defend itself. Happy New Year.
Bye. You need help.
To defend itself.
You need help.
The people they invaded. Bro,
I
you
just
saying what
believe
the fuck
everybody
the Gaza Strip was like? That shit is rubble. The fuck?
Do you remember October 7th?
I did nothing to you.
All right, let's let him land though, because I think he was trying to make another point. Not whatever. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't want to be white. I like being black because I think when you're black, you get to be like in this cool like middle area, you know? So I like being black. I feel
you're
like
not in the middle as a black person. You're at the bottom.
But I'm not a nigga.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying you're at the bottom as a black person. And I'm with you on Israel because I don't get why black Americans, especially like the former president of Harvard, lose their positions, trick themselves out of their positions to try to badmouth Israel and try to uplift Palestine when, again, up until 1948, Palestinians under the Ottoman Empire, they had black people who look like us, enslaved. Okay, it was Israel that stopped all of that. So I don't get it. And I understand it's been Israel, it's been Jews that have helped black Americans during the civil rights era. And it's like, what do? We spit in their faces and say, let's go root for the Palestinian people who don't give a damn about us. That's crazy to me. That's mental illness right there to me. I'm going to always stand behind the Jewish community. Because I remember what they did for my ancestors.
Okay.
Did you remember they helped fund slavery too?
Hey,
but that was everybody.
That's the point.
That was everybody. Everybody else.
Who didn't? And the thing about it is, Jews did not help fund slavery as a community. There were some individuals who happened to be Jewish. And then you trying to take those individuals and then try to apply that to the collective. That's the problem. You will always find people who fit the narrative of, okay, well, they happen to have this association or this group, but I'm not going to sit there and typecast because they didn't do that as a community and as a collective.
I don't want to rule.
Yes. Special.
Yeah, but I mean, we also funded slavery because everybody kind of funded slavery. So just because the Jews got in on it, they're actually late to the party a little bit, but
they didn't do that as a collective. That's why it's difficult to say that Jewish people did it. There were some individuals who you could find who had Jewish ancestry. That's the difference. They didn't do it as a community. As a community, they didn't enrich themselves off of enslaving black people.
We can learn a lot from the Jews. They know how to, even though they have incredibly small numbers, they understand how to consolidate power and how to manipulate the media. And they also understand how to astroturf political campaigns and capture governments. So, yeah, I think as blacks we can learn from them,
and we have. And
that's why I said it don't make sense to be pushing all these babies everywhere that you can't afford to take care of.
The Jews don't do that.
They had it figured out. I'm gonna tell the successful black people in the day. They always say, "So get your Jewish lawyer, get your Jewish manager." They had it figured out. They understood the power. When I say power, the intelligence, the strategy. They understood that people from that community were brilliant people, brilliant minds. But the thing is, it's like this current generation of black people is completely lost. All the stuff that we did that allowed us to survive and thrive. It's like we're moving away from, including going back to church, including having religious values.
I do want to say something. So because this is something that I was thinking of, like when it comes to the Jews. I mean, think of what they went through, like the Holocaust, where they were like being completely wiped out. Like all Jewish lineage, they wanted wiped out, a complete race of people gone. So when that happened, and now seeing what the Jews have done and how they overcame it, and how people are like, oh, this Jew power and stuff like that. Think about what Jews have gone through, and Black Americans, what they have gone through. Why did the Jews, why are they now so successful? And Black people are still playing this victim mentality. Like,
what the fuck?
Wake it up. Wake up the truth. Tell the truth and shame the devil. Tell the truth and shame the devil.
This doesn't make any sense. And
can I let me finish?
We're starting. Hold on.
Can I finish before?
No, let her that bullshit plane, bro, so she can finish, please. One mic on
tell the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, let her land that trick.
Y'all don't like hearing the truth.
So this is me asking because I am not a Jew, nor am I a Black American. So this is me bringing a question
Congratulations.
to the table. So this is me bringing a question to the table. Where is the breakdown? I think when something that resonated, sister said, God. Like, to me, could that be the dynamic? But I want to hear from you.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you why this is stupid, right?
What's stupid? Me asking a question?
No, your question is stupid. Not asking the question. Asking
Not
the question
asking
is
a
great.
question would be
The
stupid.
question itself, the way you positioned it, just shows your ignorance. It shows
Right. So me asking a question, people that don't ask.
Mute up. I'll let you finish. I had to listen to your stupidity for like 5 seconds, right? This is retarded. Right? If you think about
I'm
it, right?
a retard. So then, can you explain
Hold on. Mute up. If you think about it, if you put this in perspective, you're dealing with a group that has existed in continuity for 2,000 plus years, right? That has existed in different cultural spheres, that has had the opportunity to have access to different knowledge centers, has had the experience of being traders, being merchants, being financiers of literal empires, to a group that was created about 400 years ago and that was artificially bastardized and put in a maladaptive state.
Okay, so you're not answering my question.
Excuse me, 250 plus years. Now, even the positioning that, okay, Black Americans versus Jews are not victims and we are victims, the entire Jewish internal narrative has been personally shaping themselves through the lens of victimology. From fucking getting exiled in Egypt to persecuted in Rome to put in freaking gas chambers in Germany. That's a baseline component of their operating system. Their OS is a computer, right? So to basically put us just at a false dichotomy, it's just not real. Both parties view themselves through the lens of victims. Both parties has used their own victimology or victim lens to elevate the said collective groups, right? I'm gonna land on this part, right? Comparing a group that has had access, I'm going back to the knowledge centers. Jews have had access. They have their own country. They've had access to the various knowledge centers in Europe. They've contributed vastly to European academia. You can thank the Jews, right, for collective IQ boosts in Europe, right? And they've had access to these trade networks and these financing networks. To compare them to us is just like a faulty comparison. That's what makes the comparison
to be respectful, because I wasn't trying to compare. I was just thinking of like two groups of people.
Hold on, Reverend. Just let her land.
I do want to open this up to everyone, but I do want to have a quick back and forth with Theo. So I wasn't trying to compare the two, but I was thinking of two groups of people that have been marginalized. So when you say, well, the resources and stuff, the Jews were being genocided, like completely wiped out. When the Holocaust happened, what resources did they have at that time? Let me just land my thoughts. I don't get like in the weeds. So what resources did they have? And if we think about this, we'll just say the elites, and we don't even know who the elites are. Those people like the Jews and the Black American tools to do whatever they need and then it ends up being like, well, the Jews against the Black Americans, and who's more, who had harder times and all this shit. And that's like just low IQ conversation. It's bigger than that. So like, it's not pointing the fingers of it's Jews' fault or this fault. Like, no, it's a bigger picture to know that like people are being utilized. When you're given fucking lemons, there's people that use those lemons and make lemonade, and then there's people that are just like, well, I got lemons for Christmas and I don't know what to do with them. So like, that's what I'm saying is like, why have the Jews like when? And I don't even like using people as like a group. I think it's very dangerous to group people together. However, I'll do that. But they took that and now they're like, you guys say that they have all of these resources that we didn't. Like they literally started from rock bottom, nothing.
And that's something they're not going to want to confront. They will keep gaslighting.
Again, Jews did not start from rock bottom.
She
That's
has no point.
factually incorrect.
And neither did Black Americans.
Y'all mind if I get up in the queue?
The Jews that went through the Holocaust are not the only Jews. Right? Jews are all over the world. They were all over Europe. They were in South America. They were in North America. They were all over the fucking globe.
So Black people were all over.
They banded together so that means, yes, they banded together post-Holocaust, right, to create a country, a nation state called Israel. They used all of their funds from their lucrative positions globally, right, their lucrative connections globally to create an entire fucking nation state. All right? To say that that's equivalent to someone in Jim Crow, it's just fucking stupid. It's just retarded.
When should I ever say the
Black people in America got out of slavery? Black people in America got out of slavery in like 1856-ish, 53-ish, or somewhere around that time span. It's 1850 something, right? Civil War era. When we got out of slavery, we had no robust cultural infrastructure like the Jews had.
You're thinking too small.
We had
comparing.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No,
you literally comparing. You're literally fucking comparing. You said two people that started with nothing. They didn't start with nothing. That's just factually incorrect.
Okay.
If somebody
we didn't start with nothing.
If somebody starts with a loan of $1 million from their father, and somebody comes from dirt poor trailer poverty, they're not starting on the same playing field. So to compare their two spots today,
I didn't compare.
You literally did. Like, what are we talking about? You know what a comparison is?
Okay.
You know when you put two things next to each other. You know when you put your two things next to each other, and you say, "Hey, why are you guys different? And why are you guys similar?" You said you guys both started from the bottom. I mean, it's the comparison.
But you're trying to say that somebody had it harder than another. Your ancestors had it harder than another Black American's family and their ancestors. Like, so that means that, okay, well, you just had better opportunity, but why is that?
Why did what?
She just posed a question. She didn't make a comparison. She asked. She asked, "What is the difference?" You answered the question. It's not supposed to be.
The difference is that Germany paid the victims of the Holocaust over $90 million in the 1950s.
That money didn't go to them, man. Come on, don't do that. That money didn't go.
What? Who it go to?
It did not go to the.
Hold on one second. Because this is a good conversation. I want to go to doctor, and then we're going to go to sister, and then we can go from there.
Yeah, it went directly to the Jews. That's factually incorrect. It did go
we're going to go to doctor.
Oh, okay.
Bro, y'all just be saying anything, bro. Like, y'all really need to go do some research.
Hey, let me get in after the next person, after the last person.
So, sister, go ahead, and Alfonso.
Okay, I just want to say this, guys. I understand as a community, we have a hard time with accountability. We really get triggered when someone who's not of our community.
Who modded her? Stop modding.
Well, I modded her.
Don't mod her. She's not from this space.
What?
I think she's like.
Let me
I'm trying to figure out where the fuck my mom is.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, especially when people who are not.
This is bullshit.
When people who are not of our community.
But if TC knows you, he'll mod you.
Listen, I asked TC already in a text message. I talked to him outside of this app. But go ahead, sister.
Thank you. When people who are not of our community, there are people who are not of our communities to ask those questions and stuff like that. we're especially triggered. That's the reality. You see how people tell me I'm not black just because of the way that I speak and the way that I think. It's like they want someone to move like a monolith.
No, but
I'm not gonna sit there and downplay the fact that I'm black. But the reality of it is this.
But you said that you're Native American several times. You didn't.
I said that I have American Indian ancestry. Multiple times I've said that. That does not negate my blackness.
You're not black.
And that's the other sick part about the whole thing. When you mention anything other than your blackness, then, oh, you're not trying to be black. You've got to say that you're from Africa or something, and which is insane because Africa does not have a monopoly on black skin. But I just want to say this. I heard Ann pose a question. I didn't hear her make a comparison. Now, I heard a beautiful answer from Theo. He went into history and said these are the differences and things like that. But then, there was a couple insults which I feel like caused the conversation to spiral. So I just, at the end of the day, everybody's entitled to their opinions and stuff. And I feel like everybody should be able to ask questions, and we should welcome those questions because guess what? The goal is for us to build and move forward. So if you're getting triggered by a question, maybe look in the mirror and figure out why. Don't try to point the finger at somebody else because I didn't hear Ann say anything disrespectful.
Yeah, nobody. Nobody.
So
The question was just stupid, and I just call it. See, I'm black. I don't know. I'm not unlike y'all. I'm actually black, right?
Right,
and
but
I was
it's
always
not
taught by
helpful.
my black ass grandparents and my black parents to call a thing a thing. We say in the black community, call a spade, right? So I speak very matter of factly.
Right.
So you get triggered when I call something stupid or retarded. I'm just using my analytical observational skills and I'm putting nomenclature, right? If I see a blade of grass, I'm gonna say, hey, that's a blade of grass. If I see the kitchen sink, I'm gonna say, hey, that's the kitchen sink. If I see a fucking doorbell, hey, that's a Ring doorbell. I call a spade a fucking spade.
You're entitled to your opinion. If we ask the room right now if they thought by the question that I posed and by your reaction to it, who was more of a retard, they would say that you are. But we're gonna go to